was really worried about all the schoolwork and like the course load, but my junior mentors really helped me like learn how to like manage it all and like manage my time well.
I think I was most nervous about not finding people like to be friends with, and like scared of losing friends from Baker, but I overcame that fear and like I met a lot of new people.
But coming into the high school, there's probably 500 kids in your grade alone, so I feel like that was kind of stressful going into the summer, knowing that I'm going to be going to a huge school. And going to the social part, I know that I had a lot of friends from Baker, but you know, like when you go to high school, things can change because you meet so many new people, so I was worried about that. But coming into the high school, I met so many new people, and it's just high school's become one of the best years of my life. So,
besides like the whole like social and like big school thing, definitely like the shift in like academic difficulty, that was like a big concern for me because I mean, I knew middle school was always like a little like not easy, but it was very manageable, and I mean, the high school is obviously a big push and different from the middle school experience. So that was like something I was hoping I'd be able to adapt quickly, and unfortunately I was.
Unfortunately, you were?
No, fortunately, I was able to deal with the change and still be able to succeed, of course, with a little more work, but still.
I was definitely worried about knowing where my classes are. Like, especially, like, if I knew that the school was very large, so knowing if I had to go from, like, the 4th floor to, like, the UA building to this to that, you know? So I definitely, once I like the first couple weeks in school, I like walked around. I started seeing that all like kind of the classes were in their own specific hallways, where like maybe like the math hallway is in this hallway, or like Spanish is up here, you know, like stuff like that. But that also doesn't mean that it always will be in there. So like that was always good to know.
I was also worried about like the new lunch schedule because there's 2 lunches. There's first and second lunch, and most every day you'll get to sit with someone that you know, even though your friends aren't in the same lunch as you. And there's a block schedule, which I was also worried about, but it's also pretty cool because you get to see new people every single block for every different subject. And what's a little bit different is that advisory is called T-block, and in middle school you have 3 days for advisory, but in high school you only have 1 day. And another pretty cool addition is called X block, which is a block only for clubs, or you can just use it to hang out.
And I remember being really worried that if I got in trouble, it'd be like the end of the world, and that teachers would just think that I was like a stupid freshman and like get really annoyed. But what I found was that when you get to the high school, it kind of like it stops being about your parents and starts being about you. And if you can figure out a way to communicate with your teachers effectively, like they're all like really like flexible, and you can like get to a point of like knowing them and like them knowing you, where if you're having like trouble with something, you can meet with them almost any time during the day, and there's nothing really to be afraid about them because they're just people too, and they just want you to succeed and do your best.
I have a couple adults who've helped me out in the past in the building, but for the most part, I think Miss Bent, my guidance counselor, was the best for all my problems because that's basically her job, and I think that the guidance counselors are really nice people in the building, and they would always be there to help you. Yeah.
Alice and Tony, unfortunately you guys are not going to be able to get to know her unless you participate in basketball, but she is a health and fitness teacher, and I think a lot of people will miss her. She kind of acted as like just like that go-to funny person, and yeah, so I definitely think you should get to know your health and fitness teachers. They're always there for you. Mr. Graham's a great teacher, Mr. Thomas, Miss Goff, they're all wonderful.
Anything. And I also got really close to a lot of my teachers because they were all like really nice and helpful, and whenever I was struggling with anything, I would just go to them after school and they'd help me, and that was really helpful.
Definitely my guidance counselor, and just I would have to say my health and fitness teacher, Miss Tony. She was a great help. She opened up many things for me, like peer leadership, and she just overall just helped me like get to know the high school better. Same with my guidance counselor. She helped me with schedule, the ins and outs of the school, and that was really helpful, at least especially the first couple of weeks.
Eric Schiff, he's freshman basketball coach, really cool. Y'all should do basketball. And Miss Whalen, awesome guidance counselor. Just go to your guidance counselors. They're awesome.
They you get to know your coach really well, and you get to have a relationship with them that's like beyond just the sport and into school. And if you're like having a rough day, most of them like work in the school. So by playing soccer, I not only found like an instant group of friends, but I found like an adult in the building that I could like go to if I was having a rough day.
I would email my teachers if I'm stressed out about assignment or studying for a test if I don't know something on the review guide, or I would text my friend and just ask for support.
I think utilizing the opportunities that are given to you, like listening to info time on Wednesdays for 5 minutes, and listening to what teachers tell you, looking at posters, and like maybe going the extra step and like asking somebody and notify whether or not there's an audition. I think that taking the time to look for opportunities not only introduces you to new people, but also gets you involved with the community.
In terms of friends, I wasn't afraid to like separate from my middle school friends, and that led me into like getting to know more people at the school, and I think having connections is a big thing to success.
I think the first thing I did was I joined freshman field hockey because I got to know people before I entered school in the beginning of the year, which was really good because I didn't know everyone in my classes. Like I went to Heath and I didn't have kids from Heath in some of my classes, but I knew the girls on my team, and that was like a good way to like get to know, like, and it was only freshmen on the team, so like I made a lot of friends, and I'm still friends with them now, and it's almost junior year.
Another thing I did was I like talked to my junior mentors a lot, and I was like kind of friends with them my freshman year, and I would say hi to them in the hallways, and they would like help me out if I ever had any troubles with anything.
My freshman year, I really focused on making a schedule that would help me really just be organized every day. So having a set time to get home, to do my homework, have a set time to eat dinner, have a set time to go to sleep, and have a set time to meet with teachers in the morning depending on the day. I feel like that was really important to really make a very good schedule that I would follow every single day. Because if you do everything out of order, you just do everything like as it comes, it can be really hard to organize.
So the first day, I talked to my guidance counselor and actually asked her to join in peer leadership. And so that was really helpful. And so learning about like where the dean suite is and the guidance counselor was really helpful, especially because I was able to like go there if I needed fixing with my schedule, or I just needed to talk to somebody, like, and then I ended up like having an awesome time.
I think definitely using Canvas and asking your teachers to use Canvas is something that's really useful. I think in middle school, some schools use something like Edmodo, and it's kind of like that, and you can see your grades, and teachers can post links to stuff and post files, and it's really helpful.
I think what really helped me not procrastinate, which is a big, I guess, problem for a lot of students, is to join clubs and do sports and join like the drama club or be in a play, because when you have things that you know you need to do, you stop procrastinating because you have like motivation, because you know, oh, I have to do my homework in this time before my piano lesson and my volleyball practice. So it really helps to like join activities and do extracurriculars, because not only do you make new friends, you really push yourself to exceed and be successful in all areas.